सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मङ्गलाचरणम्। ॐ सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Yeah. Let us chant from 47. Purvam janehe api. पूर्वं जनेरपि मृतेरथ नायमस्ति।
निरुद्धा जी।
Sorry.
47. पूर्वं जनेः अपि.
Yes.
पूर्वं जनेरपि मृतेरथ नायम् अस्ति।
पूर्वेर्जनेरपि अधिमृतेरपि नायमस्ति।
जातक्षणक्षणगुणो नियतस्वभावः।
जातक्षणक्षणगुणो नियतस्वभावः।
नैको जडश्च घटवत् परिदृश्यमानः।
नैको जडश्च घटवत् परिदृश्यमानः।
स्वात्मा कथं भवति भावविकारवेत्ता।
स्वात्मा कथं भवति भावविकारवेत्ता।
कर्मेन्द्रियैः पञ्चभिरञ्चितोऽयम्।
कर्मेन्द्रियैः अचिन्तोऽयम्
प्रा
अंचितोऽयम्
प्राणो भवेत् प्राणमयस्तु कोशः।
प्राणो भवेत् प्राणमयस्तु कोशः।
येनात्मवानन्नमयोऽनुपूर्णः।
येनात्मवान् अन्नमयोऽनुपूर्णः।
प्रवर्तते सौ सकलक्रियासु।
प्रवर्तते सौ सकलक्रियासु।
नैवात्मापि प्राणमयो वायुविकारः।
नैवात्मापि प्राणमयो वायुविकारः।
गन्ता गन्ता वायुवदन्तर्बहिरेषः।
गन्ता गन्ता वायुवद् अन्तर्बहिरेषः।
यस्मात् किञ्चित् क्वापि न वेत्तीष्टमनिष्टम्।
यस्मात् किञ्चित् क्वापि न वेत्तिष्ठम् अनिष्टम्।
स्वं वान्यं वा किञ्चन नित्यं परतन्त्रः।
स्वं वान्यं वा किञ्चन नित्यं परतन्त्रः।
ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि च मनश्च मनोमयः स्यात्
ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि च मनश् च मनोमयः स्यात्
कोशो ममाहमिति वस्तुविकल्पहेतुः
कोशो ममाहम् इति वस्तुविकल्पहेतु
saṃjñādibhedakalanākalito balīyāṃ
saṃjñādibhedakalanākalito balīyāṃ
tkośamabhipūrya vijṛmbhate yah.
तत्पूर्वकोशम् अभिपूर्य विजृम्भते यः
Yeah. So this is the shloka where we were close to completion. Shankaracharya explaining to us all the different koshas. Because munja dishikam iva, you have to carefully remove the pith from the stalk of that grass, munja grass. So why carefully? Because otherwise it'll we'll get injured. That means what? That means if this topic is not studied properly, what will happen is we won't be Vedantis, we will be Devantis, correct? So that is Swamiji, Puju Swamiji used to say, where all Devantis are running around teaching Vedanta. They think they are teaching Vedanta because it has to be properly studied. It's not easy. Simply saying I am not the body means what? Not the body means who are you then? Then what about the body? Who takes ownership to the body? Everything we have to properly understand. So carefully, Annamaya Kosha, Panchakosha Vivekaha. That's what we are doing. This is called Panchakosha Vivekaha. Or in another context, Shariratraya Vivekaha. All that is meant for us to gradually see that I am identifying with something that I am really not. That's the idea that you all know now. And so here, previously Vayu Vikaraha, all right, Pranamaya Kosha was done and said, how can Pranamaya Kosha be? How can I be that Pranamaya Kosha? Like that it was said. Now, so jñānendriyāṇi ca manaśca manomaya syāt. This manomaya is a combination of sense organs and manas. So manas technically defined sankalpa vikalpātmikam manaha. Okay. So that is differentiated. So the mind that constantly is providing options, introducing options and options, and that function is called, or that faculty is called manas, and then this other faculty, which will come later, called buddhihi, nischayatmika buddhihi. So in that context, Vedanta always differentiate the mind into these two. And sometimes you will have others also. Ahankara will come, Chittam will come. So Ahankara is just one part of this thought, vritti, which is critical, which is what identity, which represents the identity. My whole existence, my survival depends on Ahankara. That I know who I am and I am ready to do something. And I'm not an ordinary guy. I want to survive. I'm not simply a guy. I'm a survivor. I've been surviving for ages. Okay. And so that kind of I, who is that I? Ahankara. Will come. Later it will come. So for now, manaha. That manas, sankalpa vikalpatmikam manaha. Okay. That manas along with sense organs is called manomayaḥ. Like that, Shankaracharya is introducing this manomaya to us. And we saw all these things, vastuvikalpahetuḥ, saṃjñādibhedakalanākalito, mamāhamiti iti vastuvikalpahetuḥ. Means I have divided the whole world into what is irrelevant to me, what could be relevant to me, put it in the back burner. And what is mama? What is mine? What is mine? And then what is myself? I, aham. What is me? What is I? All this I have categorized. The moment I wake up, it's all clear to me. Even though I don't keep listing all these things, that's me, that's not me, the Atma. No, I don't do all that. I don't need to do all that. That is why manaha is balīyāṃ. Look at the word there, balīyāṃ. So powerful. I don't need to prove to myself who I am every morning. No, I don't have to do. It's balīyāṃ. That's the blessing we are given to us. Balīyāṃ. We saw all these things. Okay, then tkośam abhipūrya vijṛmbhate yaha. That is the part we have to see. Yaha, that which. I'm audible, no? Yeah. Okay. Tatpūrvakośam abhipūrya vijṛmbhate. Tatpūrvakośam. Its previous kosha, manomaya's previous kosha. Tat means manomaya. That. Statpūrvakośam. Purvakośam means the kosha which quote unquote surrounds the manomaya. That we studied, which is pranamaya. So pranamayam abhipūrya. Purvakośam abhipūrya. Or anupūrya. Both are okay. Anupūrya, abhipūrya. Completely filling up. Means it's subtler than pranamaya. Manomaya is subtler. And therefore, we know that subtle, more expansive, and more like Atma. Kathopanishad, Shankaracharya. What is it? Subtler, more expansive, and more like Atma. These three we have to remember. So, that's why he says abhipūrya. Abhipūrya. Because mind has no form, really speaking. It will take whatever form you want it to take. That's the idea here. Okay. That's the power of this mind. And so, abhipūrya vijṛmbhate. Vijṛmbhate. Look at this. Swami Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami. Nirgalam swakaryam karoti, he says. Swakaryam karoti. It does its job, swakaryam karoti, unimpeded. Nirargalam. Argalam means impeded, constrained, blocked, restrained. Okay, that is argalam. Nirargalam. The mind is just free. Free. So, it is free. It is free to think of anything. It is free to just make me confused, make me enlightened, whatever. It is the poor buddhi. It keeps the buddhi busy, I think. I think if you ask me which one is busier, mind is busier or buddhi is busier, I have to give the credit to the mind only. Because were it not for the mind, buddhi is not needed anyway. So, so that's why he says balīyāṃ. Balīyāṃ. Don't ignore it. It's very important. And then vijṛmbhate. So that is the meaning. It shines. It shines. Even between the animal and human being also, comparatively, when you compare, it shines. That is what it distinguishes us from animals. That also you know. Therefore, vijṛmbhate. And so Swamiji says, stands tall, stands out, looms large, he says. Among all these, I thought this guy is a tall guy. Let him be a tall guy or a short guy. Still, this mind balīyāṃ. Doesn't matter if he got 100 meters in the Olympics, gold. Good, that's a blessing, no doubt. How many people can, one person in the world only can get it. So it's very powerful. But who is the guy behind the guy who got this first prize? His mind only. His mind only. So balīyāṃ. And so saha manomayaḥ bhavati. You can add the words saha. Yaha is there. Manomayaḥ. Yeah, yaha. Yeah, the one who fills up that purvakosha, pranamaya, stands tall. It's doing its job. Nobody can stop the mind. Ityartha. And so if you say, man, my mind is racing, if you say, don't worry, Shankaracharya says that which races is called the mind. If the mind is not racing, that means something is not 100% right with you. That is the meaning. So we can gain some consolation from that. So, vijṛmbhate, our Manisha Panchakam, Shankaracharya writes, first shloka, correct? All of you remember. Jagrat Swapna Sushiptishu Sputatara Ya Samvid Ujrumbate. So, Manisha Panchakam. This is, if we start talking about it, the whole class will become Manisha Panchakam class. So, anyway, he says, he looks at Chandala is asking him, who are you? You're asking this body to move, or you asking Atma to move? Then he he composes these shlokas. So the one who who knows, ya samvid ujrumbate, who knows this consciousness which is ujrumbate, shining in what? Jagrat swapna sushiptishu sputatara. It is shining. Yeah, samvid, that consciousness which is awake in all states, etc. Big list he gives. Anybody who knows it, whether that guy is a Brahmana or a Guru or this or that, people with titles or a Chandala, just a sweeper, a guy who is doing, what do you call this, menial, quote unquote, menial work or manual work. That person is my Guru, he says. Whether he's a Chandala or a big man or woman, like that he says. So my mind went there too, that vijṛmbhate. And then Dakshinamurti Stotram is also there. Second shloka. बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ् निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयति. So vijṛmbhayati, mayaviva vijṛmbhayati. So that punaha punaha, again and again, this maya just creates the world as though, just like the seed just sprouts, and again it gives seeds and it sprouts again and again. Like that, this guy just gets up in the morning and then again the world is there. Then he goes to sleep, the world is gone. Again he gets up. And then that world it comes like that without any effort, effortlessly. So those things Shankara talks there. So there we see that. Vijṛmbhayati, like that. Anyway, we are done with the shloka, I think. So let's translate it. Pujya Swamiji's translation. The Manomaya Kosha consists of the five organs of perception and the mind. The Manomaya Kosha consists of the five organs of perception and the mind. Full stop. It is the cause of the division of, it is a cause of the division of objects as mine and I. Objects as mine within quotes and I within quotes. It is the cause of the division of objects as mine and I. Full stop. It is endowed with the capacity of it is endowed with the capacity of differentiating names, comma, differentiating names, attributes, etc. Capacity of differentiating names, attributes, etc. Full stop. It is very powerful. Am I audible? Okay.
Yeah,
There's a
your
power cut.
video went
Yeah,
dark.
there's a power cut. There's a power cut here. 1 minute. I can't see anything. All right. So, where am I? Right. It is very powerful and is the one which manifests pervading the pranamaya, comma, the kosha prior to it. The kosha prior to it. Which manifests pervading the pranamaya, comma, the kosha prior to it. The words the pranamaya can be put in parenthesis because it doesn't appear in the shloka. The kosha prior to it is called pranamaya. Okay. So it is very powerful and is the one which manifests pervading the pranamaya, the kosha prior to it. All right. The Manomaya Kosha consists of the 5 organs of perception and the mind. It is the cause of the division of objects as mine and I. It is endowed with the capacity of differentiating names, attributes, etc. It is very powerful and is the one which manifests pervading the pranamaya, the kosha prior to it. Good. All right. Next shloka is manomayo nāpi. manomayo nāpi bhavetparātmā.
मanomayo nāpi bhavetparātmā
hyādyantavattvātpariṇāmibhāvāt.
hyādyantavattvātpariṇāmibhāvāt.
This printout is hard to read, no? It's confusing actually. This Alan Kellogg, the way he does it for a different audience, for all his Western audience and all, and so something funny he does. So I'm also finding it difficult to read. All right.
So you can read it from the text which I had circulated, the notepad.
No, I try not to keep too many printouts.
Okay.
But yeah, it is, we can manage. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the rest of you, correct. The rest of you have to find a way to make it easy for yourself. All right. duḥkhātmakatvad
दुःखात्मकत्वाद्विषयत्वहेतोः
dṛṣṭā hi dṛśyātmatayā na dṛṣṭaḥ.
द्रष्टा हि दृश्यात्मतया न दृष्टः
Once again, manomayo nāpi bhavetparātmā.
मनोमयो नापि भवेत्परात्मा
hyādyantavattvātpariṇāmibhāvāt.
hyādyantavattvātpariṇāmibhāvāt
duḥkhātmakatvādviṣayatvaheto.
दुःखात्मकत्वात्
dṛṣṭā hi dṛśyātmatayā na dṛṣṭaḥ.
द्रष्टा हि दृश्यात्मतया न दृष्टः.
Yeah. So the main word here is manomayaḥ. That is being further explained as what? Nāpi parātmā bhavet. Even this manomaya, even though it is balīyāṃ, even though that statpūrvakośamanupūrya abhipurya, still, even though it is subtle and expansive and balīyāṃ, still, this mind, you are not this mind. Atma is not this mind. That is it. And so, that's the main message from this shloka. And he gives some reasons. He says, hyādyantavattvāt. So the 4 reasons he gives. What are the 4 reasons? Ādyantavattvāt is one reason. Pariṇāmibhāvāt is second reason. Duḥkhātmakatvādviṣayatvaheto is third. And then vijṛmbhate is also fourth reason. Hetoho must be panchami. Ekavachanam panchami. Not shashti. Okay. So 4 reasons are being given. All right. Ādyantavattvāt. He's saying this mind has a beginning. Adi means beginning. Anta means end. Adi, Anta. Antavat. Vat means it is possessed of. It is possessed of a beginning and ending. Because. Vat, the last At is because. Tasmat. So, mind also is something that begins and ends. Mind also. And what does our Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami ji says, Ādyantavattvāt. Yeah, anyway, I didn't write it down, but look, so yeah, Shushuptau, he says Shushuptau, in deep sleep, mind doesn't exist. The way it exists in the waking state. It's gone. It has become unmanifest. It's not active at all. Prana is active, but the mind is not active. So mind itself is going off like this into sleep, and then it comes back awake. Balīyāṃ. Then only it is balīyāṃ. It is not balīyāṃ in deep sleep state. It is quiet in deep sleep state. And so it has beginning in the morning. It just begins, and then it's active until it goes to bed again. Or this mind, if you look at the life of a jiva, jiva is born, jiva means born, taking on a new body and then taking on another body and giving it up, another body, giving it up. So does the mind exist through all these janmas or not? Hey, what do we say? We say the sukshma shariram and the karana shariram is hopping all these bodies, correct? Vasamsi jñānendriyāṇi. It's just hopping, tuck, 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 it's hopping. Like a frog, it just hops like this. And then therefore the mind, what about the mind? Yeah, sukshma shariram. Mind is part of the sukshma shariram. So the mind is also there. When you say jiva takes on another body, we are saying the sense organs. That is the subtle. That is the subtle part. Everything else physical. All this ear and all, ear drum and all is physical. But the subtle part is the shravana indriyam. So that all these indriyams are all collapsed into karana shariram, and they're going on to the next, going on to the next. And how long they will do like this? Until pralayam. Until pralayam, when there is nothing, no body left. No body left and no body left also. No body is left. Then what? Everything is collapsed into this samashti karana shariram. Everything is unmanifest, seed state. At that time, this mind also collapses. It is no longer sukshma shariram, it becomes karana shariram. Okay, it is actually really unmanifest at that time in pralaya. And that is the anta for this mind. Anta, gone, that's it. Now, if you want the mind, it has to come out of, it has to sprout from this karana sharira. That is adi for this mind. So, hyādyantavattvāt. This mind also seems to be long-standing and seems to be surviving for ages and ages and ages. Still, that's why it is balīyāṃ, all right. But still, it has a beginning and it has an end. It has a lifespan. Even though it's a very long lifespan, it does have a lifespan. Okay. And so, and therefore, Swamiji is quoting, Etasmat jayate pranaha manaha sarvendriyāṇi cha. I think we studied that in Mundaka recently. Okay. Etasmat jayate pranaha. In fact, mantra number also we may remember. 2.1.2 maybe, possibly 2. Okay. Because, no, 3, possibly 3. Because 2 is Nirgunam Brahma. 3 is Sagunam Brahma, I think. Anyway, the rest of you can ignore all this discussion. Etasmat jayate. From this Brahma alone, pranaha, manaha and all came about. Like that the mantra is saying. So that is proof for us, pramanam for us, for Shankara to say, make this statement that manaha is adivat and antavat. Okay.
So, Guruji, it's Mahapralaya that is the Anta of Mana. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, Mahapralaya.
Mahapralaya, right? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So that Mundaka 2.1.3, it is there in Kaivalya also, as somebody pointed out the other day. Yeah. So therefore, Adyantavat. Because of that what? Because of that, manomayaḥ nāpi bhavetparātmā. How can manomaya, how can you equate this manomaya to Atma, which is anadi? Ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha. Ajaha, it is unborn. How can you equate the unborn and the born? Is it possible? Yeah, it is possible. I have done that. That magic I have done. But Shankara is saying you can't. You better change your mind about that. Okay. And so, Adyantavat. Now, science, if you ask a scientist all these questions, he will confuse you. He will say consciousness is a product. Conscious also is Adi, he will say. Because it's a product of material. That is epiphenomenon. We talked about it. Epiphenomenon. And during sleep and during waking state, it becomes active. And then, like this, they have some theories. And they admit we are nowhere near understanding consciousness. They do admit. Some humility they have. I'll appreciate that. But I've been to conferences where these professors fight like crazy. As a student, I was scared actually. I used to sit and fight. I came to attend a conference and I'm scared because I have to give a presentation first of all. Already I'm scared. Now I'm watching all these people fighting. And so I said, wow, this is, that means they hold on to their ideas, correct? It's very dear to them. And maybe it is not proved yet. So that's when things are not proved yet, established yet, there is a room for some what do you call this? Some kind of a argument and flexing the muscles will be there, So they used to do all that. So scientists ko yahan chhod do. We don't consider that. Consciousness is not a product. It's not born, etc. And so Then parinami abhavat. The second reason he's sorry, parinami bhavat, not abhavat. I take that back. Parinami bhavat. Okay. Previous word was anadi antavatvat. Okay. Parinami bhavat. A bhava means of the nature of. Of the nature of. This manomaya is the nature, is of the nature of parina. It is a parinami. It is of the nature of parinami. What do you mean the nature of parinama? Parinam hota hai na. Parinam means what? Change. It is subject to change. It is subject to change. That is the nature of the mind. Constantly changing. Constant. No thought really stays for any length of time. You can't even measure the time for which you have a thought for same thought. It really not possible. Constantly changing. Already the mind is constantly changing. On top of that, somebody comes and says the mind is racing. So anyway, just like every part of the body can be working well, or it can be dysfunctional also. Like that, mind also is like that. Mind is also a part of the body. So therefore, we have to sensitize people to that aspect. And so, parinami bhavat, it is of the nature of change. We don't need to elaborate on that. Constantly, it is thinking of something or the other. Every thought, in fact, the mind is the thought. If the thought is not there, there is really no mind. And so, constant change. Parinami bhavaha. Mind is equal to parinami bhavaha. So, parinami bhavat, because it is of the nature of change. Okay. So, then what about Atma? Hey, Atma is what? What did we study in Bhagavad Gita? Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate. Hey, it is avyaktam. Atma is unmanifest. It is the consciousness which is, Maya also is unmanifest, but Atma is definitely unmanifest. You can't see it. That is avyaktam. It is not available for your perception. The avyaktoyam achintyoyam. You can't think of Atma. My God, this entire Vivekachoodamani, we are trying hard to think of Atma, and you are telling me you can't think of Atma? You're cheating me. This Vedanta is a hoax. It's all a hoax. You people have found out a nice methodology, quoting this name and his name and Acharya's name, and quietly came up with some subject. Yeah. We don't do all that. It is, you have to marketing, and this thing means you have to talk to big companies. How a company could convert water and sell water as Coke and Pepsi. They are the people who are geniuses. We have nothing. We are not geniuses at all. They are the geniuses selling water at a premium. And so, therefore, this is here it is a little different. So, parinami bhavat. Avyaktaha, avyaktoyam achintyoyam, achintyaha. Not thinkable. Can't be an object of thought. Avyaktoyam why? Because I am the thinker. I am the subject. The subject can never be the object. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam. It must be Gita something. 2 point, if I can guess, some 16, 17, that area, I think. Okay. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate. That is a part we are looking for. Avikarya. What is avikar? This vikara parinami bhavat means vikari bhavat ityarthaha. Vikaraha. Vikaraha means change. Vikaraha also means form in some context. But here it means change. Avikaryaha ayam uchyate. Sri Krishna, Gitacharya is introducing Atma to Arjuna. So that kind of avikarya Atma, how can it be this manomayaḥ? Not possible. So like that we should understand these sentences. So this, what do you call it? Parinami bhavat Katham manomayaḥ avikari atma bhavet? Like that you should ask the question. Okay. How can the changing manaha be the unchanging Atma? Like that we should understand. Okay. hyādyantavattvātpariṇāmibhāvāt. Next reason, duḥkhātmakatvādviṣayatvaheto. Duḥkhātmakatvādviṣayatvaheto. So here Atma is not this Paratma and all. Duḥkhātma means of the nature of dukkha swarupatvat. Okay, dukkha swarupatvat. This manaha is of the nature of dukkham. Nature of dukkha. And what about Atma? Atma is satyam jnanam anantam brahma, or sat chit ananda. It is ananda swarupaha, anandatmakam atma, ananda atma. Like that our Taittiriya Upanishad says. So that is the difference. But Guruji, that is also not fair, because you have said manaha is dukkhatmakam, but I am also happy sometimes. How can you say my mind's nature is sadness? Like that question should arise, no? It should arise. If mind's nature is sadness, then I should be sad all the time. At least once in a while I'm smiling and I'm happy, right? So how is it possible? That is possible because happiness cannot be created. The happiness is your nature, and only when you're not thinking about yourself, you're happy. When I think about myself, then guess what happens? That's it. Oh, sadness, gloom just descends. What am I going to do? And this all problems, because so many things are there to solve. You can't blame the guy. That's how it is. That's why grihastha, grihe tishtati, it seems. He just stays at home. No, he's a free guy. He can go wherever he want. He can go wherever he want. Okay. Grihe tishtati. The mind is there at home only. that is. He's hooked. He's anchored. and so therefore, dukkhatmakam, happiness cannot be created. Sadness has to be created. I have to make an effort to become sad. This is the truth of this human being. Sadness only creates effort. It needs effort to create sadness.
Dukkha
And so,
abhavat. Dukkha abhavat is sukha.
yeah. So that's why I said, when you stop thinking, that is why I told you ideas to make money. Put this also in the list. This is why. This is it. This is the key. This is the crux. You go, remember this shloka and go and start an ashram. People will come. Okay, people come because people need peace of mind. Is all people need. Anybody willing to give peace of mind will become rich. This is how it is. You go to the bookstore. Psychology, mind means it is not one book. It's just 5, 6 levels. You have to look up and down. You have to go this way, that way. You can't pick a psychology book. You can't buy. I'm telling you. It'll take you 2 hours to really buy a book. And still you won't be sure whether you got the right book or not. Why? Because there are so many books. So many books. And new one you sell, put it in the airport. Somebody will buy it. Because I need it. We need that. Peace of mind through proper breathing. Okay. Clean statement it is. Somebody will buy it. There's truth in that also. Proper breathing, say, you will have some peace of mind. Somebody else calls it pranayama. You just gave it an English sentence. Truth of peace of mind through breathing. Something like that. You come up with a nice phrase. That's enough. Your book will sell. Why? Because duḥkhātmakatvādviṣayatvaheto. And the guy will come and tell you, you have to stun your mind. That is where all problems start. Stun your mind. Just freeze your mind. Just kill your mind. All these ideas they will start telling. Then you realize this is all new age stuff. And so, but no, there is no need to stun the mind and all. Shankaracharya is saying, just understand this. If you understand it. If you understand it, then you can lead your life appreciating the nature of the mind. Mind will be like that. Body will behave like that. Kidneys means kidney stones will be there. You eat some good food and all, whatever salt you reduce, etc., you can minimize the chances of kidney stone. That's all. So, how can God come and stop kidney stones? God only created kidneys. Kidney stones, who created? That also God only created. So, kidney and kidney stones go together. That's the way it is. That is what creation Srishti is like that. And so, duḥkhātmakatvādviṣayatvaheto, and so therefore, this Ananda cannot be created. I'm reminded of a particular snippet I read long ago. This guy, imagine some beach. Those days when I was young, this lambadas used to be there in Hyderabad. So they used to dance and all that. They used to dance, and I used to see all this folk music on TV. And so just imagine somebody in the beach, they are all dancing in the evening. There's light is there, but not enough light also. They're just dancing. This is everybody, the entire village is there, and nammailo na idora ninnemi mannana, like that they're dancing. Okay, and these men are all doing like this, dancing, and the drums they have this big thing, and then you just have to tap. Nammailo na idora ninnemi mannana, like that dancing. Then what happens? One person comes towards this man. He seems to be one of the heads type of thing. He comes there and says, "What are you doing?" He says, I have a few cows and then I sell milk." He says, "Are you happy?" "Yes, I'm happy." "No, I think you should be happier than who you are." This guy is an Accenture consultant. Okay, so just in case. So a consultant comes. "You should be happier than you are. I'll make you happier." "Really?" Yeah, of course. "Look, you take a loan. You take a loan, buy double the size of your farm. Okay, you have 10 cows, make it 20. Then you can make twice the profit, maybe even more, and then you can return the loan in 6 months. Yeah, good. Then what after that? After that, you know what you should do? Go to the nearby villages and make some kind of joint venture, and then form one company, private limited. Okay, and then you can have a bigger farm and make even more money. Wow, I didn't think of that. Then what I should do? After that, you have to branch off to cities. This is just village. There are big cities nearby or not? Yeah, Chennai is there, Bombay is there, no big cities there. How are you? You should reach out to them also. Then you buy more cows and mechanize these things. Mechanize? Yeah, mechanize. Don't you know mechanize? I don't know. How do you milk? This is how you milk. No. That's all old-fashioned. There are machines which will just milk in seconds. Oh, really? Yeah, that's how you should do. Then you save a lot of time, you save a lot of money, because you don't need to hire these people. You just have to do like this, and then it will suck all the milk out. Oh, then you'll make tons of money. Then what? Then you'll have time, and then you can sing these lambada songs with your lambadas freely, because you'll be making money. Then he says, "What am I doing now?" "That's what I'm doing. I'm playing with my lambadas. I'm having fun only now." So that is the story. What is the story? You create a problem that does not exist. It doesn't exist, but make you believe that you have to do something. You are not good. You are not good now. This is modernity, I'm telling you. This is what more I think about all these things. This is what you are no good. Then what I should do? You should make yourself good. This famous example I give, dandruff. Okay, this dandruff on your shoulder. Coat, suit and all is there. This ad, I can't forget this advertisement. I'm ready to go to office at 8:30, 8 in the morning. And suddenly this ad comes. And this man they zoom in on this man. He's standing with a suit, ready to go. And then they zoom in. And then on this shoulder, there is some white piece, it seems. The dandruff. And then they look like this and all that. So every ad makes you feel bad. How about that? Every ad makes you feel bad. And I think that should be a slogan. I think we should have. Okay. And so you have to feel, then what? You have to rush to the store. Now this thing is stuck. Heads and Shoulders shampoo I have to buy. What is the connection? Please tell me. Between dandruff and heads and Shoulders. Is there any connection at all? Will anybody believe this ad? No. We all believe this ad. And so, no good. That is why duḥkhātmakam. How else it will be? Duḥkhātmakam. Wherever you think, subconsciously they are sending out these messages. Every advertisement is that only. You're going in a bicycle? Somebody told me the other day, and you know what, Jaykumar? Even kids don't ride bicycles these days. You are riding a bicycle. Like that, somebody told me. Like that. I was telling, I bought a bicycle because I'm sitting all day. If I don't do something like this, my health will be ruined. And so I'm thanks to this bike, I'm actually every day 3-4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, I'm able to go around. I'm able to sweat. This is what I was talking. And there suddenly this guy came up with this. And so, no, you have bike, those days bike and all old fashioned. Still we have, bike shops are all there. I still go there and get some air pumped and all that. This man replaces the cycle, wheel, cleans this, everything he does. Pakka. So, duḥkhātmakatvat manomayaḥ api atma na bhavati. Like that you should complete the sentence. Ananda. Why? Because ananda swarupaha. So, ananda atma na bhavati. Like that you can say. Next, vijṛmbhate. Another important thing. I feel like giving you some insights, simply translating this and moving on. I don't like doing that. Because you get a handle on the grip on the subject matter. Little bit of Sanskrit, you get a grip. The grip, the voice-like grip like that. Voice-like grip. See, there is a dhatu in Sanskrit. Okay? Those of you who are not into Sanskrit, just enjoy this thing. The basic element of this Sanskrit language, any language, but Sanskrit language is aksharam. A, I, I, U, etc. That is the basic. The next basic thing is called a dhatu. Dhatu. If you ask me what is a dhatu, then dhatu is that basic element to which a meaning is attached, which has a meaning to it. Like pach. Pach is a dhatu. Pach. Pach means what? In the sense of cooking. Whenever you want to talk about cooking, you can use the word pach. Anywhere. Not even literal cooking. Even if you want to say something like this guy is just last year only he was hired into the company, he's still a fresh guy. So he's not yet cooked. If you want to say, then also you can use the word pach. Cooked means what? He is not yet been there, done that. He has to still learning. Okay, then you can use all these words, pach. Alright, that's called dhatu. Okay, that is enough. So like this, there are only 2000 dhatus, 2000 plus dhatus in Sanskrit. That's it. The entire language is made up of only this 2000 dhatus. Correct? 2000, that's it. Words are millions and billions, okay? But dhatus are only 2000. Every word comes from only one of these 2000 dhatus. Alright. Now, there is a dhatu called si. Si, not S-E-E-C, si. Hrasva, short. Si dhatu. Okay. Si bandhane. What is the meaning of si? Bandhane. Like that, Dhatu Kosha says. Bandhane. Bandhane means what? In the sense of tightening, binding, bonding, like that. Anytime you want to express that kind of idea, you can use the word dhatu si. Sinoti. Sinoti is the way it goes in Sanskrit. Sinoti. Si dhatu. Sinoti means binds. Saha pustakani sinoti. He is binding the textbooks. How? Rajva, by a rope. By a rope, he is tying all these textbooks. Why? Because he has to ship it somewhere. And he is putting it in this box. Sinoti. He is tying all the textbooks. Binding. All right. Sinoti. That same verb is there here in the word Vishaya. Vishaya. I'll tell you why. When you say see is to bind, how is binding connected with Vishaya means Visheshena sinoti iti Vishayaha. This Vishaya, what is Vishaya? Vishaya is an object. Vishaya is any object. Okay, any object. The minute I tell you clock, what you have done is the whole universe has so much to go, so much to offer, but suddenly you have limited my imagination to just a clock. Means you have given attributes to it. You have given me a finite thing to hang on to. That finitization, sinoti. That means finite. It's very finite. I know what a clock is. I know how it looks. I know what the function is and purpose, everything I know. It has nothing to do with orange. It has nothing to do with apple. It has nothing to do with my son or daughter. Nothing. Why? Because it is clock. It's just finite. Just that thing. And also, when you think of a clock, when you think of a clock, then what happens to the mind? The mind which is balīyāṃ, which is freely roaming around, suddenly you gave it something finite to hang on to. You have bound the mind, as it were. You have bound the mind by making it think of only one thing. So, vishinoti badhnati iti vishayaha. What is a vishaya? Vishaya is that which visheshena. So, very peculiarly binds the mind. It is not like a rajju tying the books and all. That physically binding and all is that. This is very, very peculiar it is. Visheshena sinoti iti vishayaha. You see how joyful it is. How joyful it is. Can get lost in these kinds of things. That is what he's saying here. Vijṛmbhate. This mind is of the nature of bondage. Why people say bondage and all? Because it is vijṛmbhate. It is the cause of this vishayatvam, this object. It has a capacity to think about or think of a lot. But everything is anatma. You can't think of Atma. Atma is the one that is infinite. It constantly is categorizing. Earlier we saw, no? Categorizing. All that we saw. Where did we see it?
Labeling, categorizing.
Vikalpahetuḥ. Just previous shloka. Mamāhamiti vastuvikalpahetuḥ. Saṃjñādibhedakalanākalito and all we saw. Kalitaha. That's it. Vishaya. That is called Vishaya. Understand now, Vishaya? How you go to the root and then just extract the meaning out of this word. And so that's what Shankara is saying. This manomayaḥ is one of it things it does. It keeps on binding itself by producing or binding yourself itself. Mind doesn't care anyway. So it binds you by bringing all these Vishayas. It is the cause of giving you, it's a blessing, in fact, but the blessing is also a curse, I suppose, quote unquote curse. That is what he's saying. So, Vishayatvahetuḥ. What does Swamiji say? Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji says, Sakshina Vishayi Kriyate iti Vishayatvahetuḥ. There is a Sakshi. There is a Sakshi. Consciousness is always there behind. Atma is always there, watching everything. Untouched by any of these Vishaya. Because if it were touched, there is no chance. I will get stuck to the Vishaya. If I like it, I'll get stuck. And forever the same thought will be there. No. Thank God the thoughts are all moving, changing constantly. And so, Sakshina Vishayi Kriyate means that I know what I'm thinking now, correct? How do you know? I know. How do you know? Something tells me, yeah, I know what my emotions, everything, I know it. I know it. Yeah, I know it. Does the mind know it? What we say is, no, mind cannot know it. There has to be an observer which is able to look at the mind and say, yeah, I am now thinking of a clock. So, sakshina vishayi karoti. Mind is an object, not subject. That is what Swamiji is telling there. Sakshina vishayi kriyate iti. By the sakshi, the mind is objectified. Therefore, vishayatva hetu. Manomaya is a cause of being an object or cause of constantly objectifying. Mind also is an object. Mind is also objectifying many things. Both. There is a tree there means what? I have objectified the tree. Mind has objectified the tree. But what about the mind itself? Yeah, that I see the tree only I know. Therefore, mind also is an object. That he's going that far here. Vishayatva hetoho. Then sarva sakshi atma na bhavati. By the sakshi, mind itself is objectified. Mind is an object. So how can that be atma which is sarva sakshi? Like that, Swamiji is asking that. Like that, I should complete this sentence. Vishayatva hetoho. Or which means what? Vishayatva hetutvat. Sometimes this fifth case, hetoho. Our mind goes to the sixth case. To bring it back to fifth, you should say something like Vishayatva hetutvat. Like that you because tvat is panchami, it's obviously. So Vishayatva hetutvat. Manomayaḥ sarvasakshi atma na bhavati. Perfect. 4 reasons he has given. And so what about all these things? When this happens, then he says, dṛṣṭā hi dṛśyātmatayā na dṛṣṭaḥ. Na dṛṣṭā. Dṛṣṭā hi. This Atma, which is always the dṛṣṭā. Atma is always dṛṣṭā. Dṛśyātmatayā na dṛṣṭaḥ. Atma cannot be. See, yeah, so he's now switching to Atma. Paratma is switching to. Paratma is dṛṣṭā hi. Because Atma, why Manomaya is not Atma? Because Atma, Manomaya is Vishayatva hetuhu. What about Atma? No, you cannot watch Atma at all. It is never a Vishaya. Atma is always Avishayaha. Dṛṣṭā. Dṛṣṭā means seer. Never the seen, S-E-E-N. Can never be a seen, S-C-E-E, S-C-E-N-E. Can never be the seen. That's what he's saying. Dṛśyātmatayā. Dṛśyātmatayā. Dṛśya means what? There are only 2 things in this universe. What are the 2 things? Dṛṣṭā and dṛśya. Either you are the seer, there is a seer and there is a seen. That's all. 2 things in the world. Dvaihi padarthau. Atma, anatma. 2 things are there. Drik, dṛśya. 2 things only are there. Drik also means dṛṣṭā only. Shankaracharya writes a text called Drik Drishya Viveka. As though Vivekachoodamani is not enough. Because the subject is like that. It requires all these texts so that we can appreciate it. Drik, dṛśya. That's what he says. Dṛṣṭā here he says and dṛśya he says. Dṛśyātmatayā. Atma can never be. This dṛśyātma means what? Dṛśya swarupam. Dṛśya rupam. Dṛśya rupataya. Vishaya rupataya. Vishayataya. Atma vishayataya na dṛśyate. Na dṛṣṭaḥ. Atma cannot be seen like you see any vishaya. That's all. That is the meaning of this sentence. Okay. Dṛṣṭā hi. Indeed, Atma can never be, or indeed the dṛṣṭā, the seer, can never be seen, na dṛṣṭā, na dṛṣṭaḥ, like any vishaya. dṛśyātmatayā, in the form of any object or thing. All right. So Swamiji here says, very interesting. So that means what have we done in this process? We have said this mosquito is really doing a lot of shravanam. So we have slept off, dozed off, but this guy is active. This guy is active. So what have we done? We have said, I am not Annamaya, I am not Pranamaya, and I am going further inside, I am not Manomaya also. Also, that means what? Swamiji gives a nice word for it, Paramarthanandaji. He says, I have neighborized Manomaya, I have neighborized Annamaya, I have neighborized Pranamaya, I am now neighborizing Manaha. What do you mean by neighborizing? Hey, look. When your neighbor comes to you and has a problem, then you come up with so many solutions. You can do this, you can do that. If you have difficulty, if you think it has to be done quickly, you should do this. And the neighbor is like for him, you are the guru, okay? Why you are the guru? You have, as though you don't have any problems. No, when it comes to other people's problems, I am a jnāni. I am ready to give advice. Correct? I am the greatest advisor. Why? Because I have neighborized the problem. The problem does not belong to me. When the problem doesn't belong to me, I am more objective. I am relaxed. I can think of it properly, objectively. That is called neighborization. So we have neighborized Manomaya. That is his word there. And so he says, this is very important. It's easy to say and walk away. In class, we're saying it like this, but it has to be thought over. We have to spend time. And he says, this Sakshi Bhava, this neighborization is critical. And these trigger words, kosha is a trigger word, he says. Swamiji is reminding us, when you do Nididhyasanam, you can just think of the mind. And hey, it's a vishaya. Mind is a vishaya. Who am I? I am avishaya. Mind is sorrowful. Then who am I? I am Ananda Atma. Ananda Atma can have a sorrowful mind? Yeah, it is possible. They can coexist. Yes. Therefore, what? I have at least for that 5 minutes, I was able to keep the mind away as though he is there very much. Yeah, very intimate, no doubt, but still away. Neighbor. Kosha. Think of kosha. Yeah, mind is kosha. So I can become calm. Swamiji says, we can become calm just by using these words in your nididhyasanam. We'll do sometimes. Now I'm planning to start basic dhyanam shortly because a lot of new students are there in our Atma Bodha group. And so we'll start with the basics again for those who want. So that's the idea here. And let's translate the shloka. The Manomaya Kosha can never be the Paramatma. I did not explain Paratma probably. Paratma means Paramatma. How do you know Paratma is Paramatma? Shankaracharya already said earlier. Where did he say? Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava jnanatma bandhastatayeva samsritihi tayor vivekodita bodhavannihi ajnana karyam pradahet samulam. I think 24 or 25 or 26 in that range. Okay. So therefore, he himself said, Tava means your. Because of your association with Ajnanam. Who are you? Paramatma, he said right there. So here, Paratma or Paramatma, it's the same thing. And so, the Manomaya Kosha can never be the Paramatma because it has a beginning and end. because it has a beginning and end, comma, is subject to change or changes. Is subject to changes, has sorrow as its very nature, has sorrow as its very nature, and is an object of perception. The next sentence, the subject is never seen, to be in the form of the object. The subject is never seen to be in the form of an object. Means what? The subject can never be the object. That's the idea. The subject, within brackets, you can say seer, S-E-E-R. The subject seer is never seen to be in the form of the object. Within brackets, seen, S-E-E-N. The Manomaya Kosha can never be the Paramatma because it has a beginning and end, is subject to changes, has sorrow as its very nature, and is an object of perception. The subject seer is never seen to be in the form of the object seen. Good. Next shloka. बुद्धिर्बुद्धीन्द्रियैः सार्धम्
बुद्धिर्बुद्धीन्द्रियैः सार्धम्
सवृत्तिः कर्तृलक्षणः
सवृत्तिकर्तृलक्षणः
विज्ञानमयकोशः स्यात्
विज्ञानमयकोशः स्यात्
पुंसः संसारकारणम्
पुंसः संसारकारणम्.
Yeah.
धन्यवाद.
So, many shlokas are there. In the original Vivekachoodamani, there are 17 shlokas on Manomaya Kosha. And how many we did? We did only two. Okay. jñānendriyāṇi and manomayo nāpi. Two. So, a lot of shlokas are there. But essence, because of the way we are teaching, we are not glossing over these shlokas. And so, we can say that Swamiji, Paramarthananda ji has taught the entire 580 shlokas. Okay. And so the notes I'm using, my notes are there, Swamiji's notes are there. He said this is the first time he's teaching the abridged one, he says. And so I looked at some of the other shlokas, and you can also look it up and see. If you don't understand any word, you let me know. We can review it. But otherwise, this is the essence. So, otherwise, what happens? See, I also have a selfish interest. The interest is, I want to teach a lot. I want to teach more and more texts. But if this itself takes 3 years, then 65 years old, then 70 years old, one text, then 75, then we're gone. So some selfish interest is there for me also. So, and so now we are coming to Vijñānamaya. So it's good that Pujya Swamiji requested Swami Paramarthananda ji to abbreviate this whole Vivekachoodamani. It's good. All right. So we will continue this thing. So obviously you can see Vijñānamaya Kosha has come. Next Kosha has come. which is buddhihi. So all those words are there here. And we'll see that in the next class. Okay. ॐ आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः सज्जनाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
धन्यवादः।